was a son, yet he learned obedience by the things that he suffered. Some things will not come by impartation. Some things will not come by natural spiritual gift and advantage. It will come by learning. God wanted Adam to learn. There are some things that you will only understand by experience. It's Mother's Day, so this is a very fitting example. If a woman who has been pregnant and has given birth is trying to explain to you what the pain and the experience felt like. Now, she explains it, especially for someone that read biology in school. You say, I understand it. No, you don't. If you haven't experienced it, you have not experienced it. You have not experienced it. Women in the house, is that true? If you have not experienced it, if you have not experienced it, you have not experienced it. You can't learn dominion theoretically. You can't teach your son how to walk theoretically. He's going to have to put his leg on the ground, fall a few times, and stand up. So what if there was a serpent in the garden? When God knows that the capacity he has put in you is potentially greater than any opposition that the serpent can muster, it's now incumbent on you to embrace your identity in him and stand the way he has destined for you to stand. Come on, are you listening to me? What is love without trials? What is dominion without things to dominate? What is greatness without self-control? That's not the type of man God wanted to create. And that's why every one of us must go through the school of obedience. If you have not gone through that school, you are not yet a man of God. You are not yet a woman of God. You don't know God if you have not gone through that school. He was a son, yet he learned obedience. Please say that with me. Say, he learned obedience. It means it can be learned by experience, by exercise, by practice. I wonder if there's anything in your life regarding character that you got better at, that you can look at yourself and say, I used to be an angry kid 10 years ago, but I've learned in this regard. I used to be a fighter, very impatient. Have you been in situations and you know, if it was 5 years ago, this same situation would have gone differently? That's one of the ways to know that you are indeed growing. He learned obedience by the things which he suffered. Brothers and sisters, character is trained, not gifted. Please repeat that if you heard me. 1, 2, go. It is developed, not downloaded. It is developed. Deliberately developed. Consciously developed. And not downloaded. Look at that text again. There's something I want to point out there. Hebrews chapter 5 verse 8. Everybody read the first 5 words. 1, 2, go. Though he was, listen, you see that though he was a son, that is the totality of many people's Christian consciousness. They hinge their Christianity on, it's a Christocentric idea, a very powerful idea, very important idea. We teach it in this church. But that's where their walk with God starts and ends. I'm a son. Identity. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I am a child of God. And all of that. He didn't stop there. He learned obedience. I know this is your identity, your spiritual identity. But you have to learn obedience. Exercise yourself in obedience. Are you getting what I'm saying here, please? With your charisma, there must be character. That, though he was a son, was the bedrock of all the temptations of Jesus in the wilderness. If you are the Son of God, turn stone to bread. If you are the Son of God, do this. Jump from the pinnacle of the temple. Bow down and worship me. And all of that. Because listen to me. Even if the devil knows your identity, he still wants to test your character. Listen, what I'm saying is the reason why many people are still struggling. You've been in church all your life and you don't get this. And one thing to know about the devil is this: he's not fazed by your identity. Listen, in pure spiritual warfare, that's important. But as long as you lack character, he feels he can still get you. Don't you understand how important this is? That, listen, God took on flesh, dwelt amongst us. And the devil was not fazed by that. He's still like, well, as long as you have flesh, I must still test this character. That he can take Jesus and tempt him. That's how much he believes in the infrastructure of weakness. In what the flesh can tempt you to do and to become. If he can tempt Jesus, I suspect he can tempt you. I suspect. I mean, the audacity. You know, that's what he was saying with Job. Yes, you've blessed him. Allow me to test him now. You're bragging. You have blessed him. Allow me to. One thing about the devil, no matter who you are, he just wants to see. He just wants to see. If I poke hard, how will you respond? If he has $1 billion or lacks $1 billion, how will he respond? If he gets married or doesn't get married, either the abundance of it or the lack of it, I just want to see. Even if you are the Son of God, if you are the Son of God, turn stone to bread. In fact, that's the basis of the temptation. In fact, the identity should be your temptation to misbehave. And this, I suggest, with very, very, what language can I use? I want to be sensitive about this. But there is a way you teach identity that the devil will use it to tempt you to cast off virtuous restraints. You are the Son of God. And jump from the pinnacle of the temple. And it will still sound like the grace message. Though he was a son, he learned obedience. Listen, by the way, I have established when it comes to identity, it is by grace through faith. That's established. We are talking discipleship here. Discipleship. You can be heaven bound and nobody likes you. You can be heaven bound and nobody can do business with you. No one wants to get married to you. Let me tell you something. And it's something, because we have a culture that doesn't do well with honest feedback. There are some things, tell me the truth. Have you seen somebody that you know might not get married? With the way they act. And you can't tell the person. But you know in your heart, this one, nobody will marry this one. And now, such a person is coming to church, praying to God. It's as if the power of God is not working. Though he was a son, he learned obedience by the things which he saw. You have not learned obedience. Come on, are you listening to me? The devil is not bothered by your tongue speaking abilities, about how charismatic you are. The devil really believed he could get the Son of God to fall. That should scare you. Like the word made flesh. Thou shalt not became flesh. You don't understand what I'm saying. And you still feel, well, you are the word, but now you are flesh. I can still try. I can still try. So this is something to take very seriously. I know you are the incarnate Son of God. Well, let's just see. And because this curriculum is missing, that's why we have raised many Samsons and not many Josephs. Many people are a flash in the pan. Just reign for a season and fall. Have you seen brilliant people? They had to excuse from work. Not because they were not great at the job, but because of other things. Just lack of character. It's lack of character. Excellent engineer, but you couldn't say no to bribe. Or very brilliant, but every lady passing in the office, you want to slap her bum as greeting. Are there no people like that? Was Because you can learn engineering and not learn obedience. That's what I'm telling you. You can learn medicine and not learn obedience. You can learn the things of the Spirit and not learn obedience. This curriculum is important. If you skip it, it doesn't matter how far you go. You can come down in an instant. I have a proposition. What if we change the lens with which we rated ourselves? What if we rated ourselves the way 1 Corinthians 13 rated people? When it says, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, if I have not love, I am not it. What if you began to rate yourself based on character development, not on gift? Are you getting what I'm saying? If he says, I am nothing without love, maybe that's a good place to start. I'm very gifted, but what about my character development? Check very well. Look at 1 Timothy 3. And look at all the requirements for those who desire the office of a bishop, of a deacon, and all of that.